All of us have a favorite character in Teen Titans, but you have to admit, Raven is one of the most intriguing characters when it comes to favorites, and that's probably because of her pretty messed up origin story. Raven had one of the toughest childhoods out of any of the Titans, and that's saying something considering most superhero and sidekick origin stories begin with tragedy, i.e. Batman, Robin, Spider-Man, Iron Man. Yeah, the point is there's a lot. But Raven sort of takes the cake though, because her torment was something that followed her throughout her life, as we all saw in Teen Titans. Throughout the history of DC Comics, Raven has seen multiple reboots and rebirths, but one thing that stays the same throughout her recreations is that her birth was surrounded by tragedy. The writers just seem to hate her. Raven's first appearance came in 1980 when she was depicted in issue 26 of DC Comics Presents. She was originally created by Mark Wolfman and George Perez, but has seen the creative influence of multiple writers and artists over the years. Her most notable appearances came through the Teen Titans comic book series as well as the animated films, but no version of Raven has seemed to have an impact the same way that the version of the character from the Cartoon Network animated series had. And that's the backstory that's worth focusing on, because it's arguably the one that was given the most amount of depth. In fact, Raven's heartbreaking origins were the focal point of quite a few episodes of Teen Titans, and more often than not, they became the fan favorite episode. Not much was said about Raven and her powers throughout the first 5 episodes of the show. From episode 6 moving forward, the creators revealed what made her so special, and sadly it's also what makes her life so sad. Raven wasn't simply some human who studied magic and became a powerful spellcaster on her own. Sorry for a sec. Doctor Strange. No, it was in fact the episode Nevermore in which they began to delve into the fact that Raven was the daughter of one of the most powerful demons in existence. And thankfully, over time, Raven's entire story was revealed to the audience, and it was heartbreaking. It all started with her mother, Arella, who, according to the show, was a very peaceful woman who lived in an extra-dimensional realm known as Azarath. Teen Titans eventually revealed that Arella was tricked into falling in love and marrying a man who turned out to be the powerful demon Trigon in disguise. Trigon revealed his true intent to Arella after the two had already had relations, which resulted in Arella becoming pregnant. Trigon left Azarath and Arella alone after becoming pregnant, but that wasn't the end of her sorrows, and sadly only the beginning of Raven's. Because according to the show, Arella became very distraught at the thought of carrying Trigon's child, and she became suicidal. She survived the pregnancy though. I guess it figures, right? And in the interdimensional world of Azarath, Raven was born. Sadly though, Raven was no more than a few minutes old when she faced her first hardship. It happened when Joris, a priest of Azarath, decided to take it upon himself to stop any chance of Raven bringing evil into their world. He tried to cast a spell on the child that would send her into limbo. However, the half-demon was much more powerful than the magistrate, and the spell ended up backfiring and sent the priest into limbo instead. Now, even though she was a child of a demon, not everyone on Azarath looked down on Raven. In fact, one of the few good things to happen to her during her childhood came when the spiritual leader of the realm, Azar himself, took the young girl under his wing and decided to train her. Azar told Raven the truth about who her father was and how she came into existence, and helped her to develop an emotional resistance to Trigon, knowing that the demon would try to control the young girl. Raven also used this time to train her other powers and abilities like teleportation and empathic healing. But as you know, Raven's life wasn't filled with happy experiences, and her time with Azar eventually came to a tragic end. Teen Titans revealed that Azar eventually passed on, and her spirit entered a different plane of existence, which left Raven vulnerable. She started to have dreams that seemed almost prophetic and mainly focused on Trigon. These dreams became too much for Raven to bear though, and she ended up going against all of Azar's training and decided to confront her father. This would backfire though, as Trigon was finally able to establish a connection with his daughter, and little did Raven know, but she would now be subjected to years of torment and mental anguish. It was revealed that Trigon decided to spare Raven and her mother, Arella, simply because he knew that when his daughter was an adult, he could try to use her and convince her to become his ally. Father of the Year, folks. Let's give him a round of applause. That's just really poetic. But yeah, I mean, Raven would have been an incredibly powerful and useful ally to a demon like Trigon, and from that point on, according to Teen Titans, Raven lived in fear of what her father would make her become. It wasn't until around Raven's 17th birthday that she once again started to sense her father's powers near Azarath. She knew that he was coming to claim her and force her into a life of evil, so she decided to distance herself from the realm that she once called her home as she fled from Azarath and teleported to Earth. But sadly, this would only put a pin in Trigon's plan, and whether Raven liked it or not, she would be forced to face the demon who created her. A brief moment of happiness for Raven likely came when she joined the Teen Titans and found a family that she would learn to love and protect, and that would do the same for her. Fans couldn't be positive how the Teen Titans truly formed their team in Jump City until the 62nd episode of the show was released. In the episode, which was titled Go, viewers finally got a first-hand look at how the team came together, and this includes Raven. Actually, it was set almost right after Raven fled Azarath to escape her father. In the episode, Raven had arrived in Jump City just in time to watch a team of super youths fighting off an angry-seeming alien. That alien, of course, turned out to be Starfire, but at the time, they didn't know each other. Raven was the first person to realize that she could make peace with the alien and convince the Titans to approach her calmly. This resulted in Starfire calming down and becoming friendly with the group, and just in time too, because the real threat appeared shortly after. The Titans enlisted Raven to help them fight off the Gordanians who were trying to capture Starfire, and she accepted. After saving Starfire and the city, the group of super teens decided to stay together and ended up forming the Teen Titans. It was a brief moment of somewhat happiness for Raven, and something that she surely feared her father would take away from her. Because little did everyone know, she still had very much to fear from Trigon. Now, just because she had a team by her side didn't mean that she had friends, at least not at first. Raven was very closed off towards the rest of the group at first, including Starfire. However, all that changed after the episode switched, in which Starfire and Raven were forced to switch bodies while they were trying to save Robin, Beast Boy, and Cyborg from the Puppet King. The three had been captured and turned into puppets. I mean, yeah. And then it was up to Raven and Starfire to save them in each other's bodies. In the end, the pair had a new appreciation for what they each respectively went through and had a deeper understanding of exactly what made them both the way they were. Starfire was the happy and cheery teammate, and Raven was filled with dread and discontent. Sadly, being misunderstood would be the least of Raven's problems, as her tragic past eventually came back to haunt her in Jump City. It was one of the main focal points of Teen Titans Season 4 after Slade returned. The Titans had presumed that he was dead, but when he reappeared on Raven's birthday, it was revealed that he was working with none other than Batman. Just kidding, it was of course Trigon. I guess she can't ever say that he never gave her anything for her birthday, just a panic attack and a lot of problems. Raven realized this when she recognized the symbol that Slade had marked on him as that of her father's disciples, and after a series of events let the Titans follow Slade, he ended up leading Raven right into her father's trap. The show took a really dark turn when Raven was forced to take part in the prophecy that the priests of Azarath foresaw as she became her father's portal onto her world. Slade and Trigon's army proceeded to attack Titan's tower in an attempt to capture Raven and bring her to his father. But lucky for Raven, she had found her true family with the rest of the Titans. Her dearest friends decided to fight back against Trigon to protect Raven, which led to Raven almost dying anyway. After a portal opened up near Raven, it seemed as if it consumed her, but instead, it allowed her human half to live within Trigon's lair. The Teen Titans refused to give up and ended up partnering with Slade to stop Trigon and save Raven from the underworld. And in one of the most epic episodes in Teen Titan history, Raven ended up realizing her true strength and used her powers to destroy Trigon and save her team. It was not only epic but also very satisfying, since it officially marked the moment that Raven had freed herself of her father's awful grasp, and with that, her tragic adolescence seemed to come to an end, and that was good to know because Raven certainly deserved a chance to relax a bit. But what do you think about Raven's backstory? Would any of the other Teen Titans been able to survive all of the horrible things that she went through as the daughter of Trigon? Well, be sure to let me know in the comments below. I absolutely look forward to reading all of them.